Cool, thank you. Hey, it's Corey from Now 105, back in the studio with Jorge Blanco, just performed some songs for us. Thanks for coming by, man.
Thank you, guys.
You gotta make sure you check those out on our Facebook page as well. Here at Now 105, 3 performances were amazing.
Thank you.
You've been performing these songs now for like 7 weeks on the road. You've been all over the country. Does it get tiring after a while?
I don't know. I mean, of course, there's moments, because, we're human, so there's moments you're like, oh, I'm tired, exhausted, or whatever, but I think the fact that so far, and I'm not saying it just because you guys are here, but you guys, all you guys from radio are so nice, you make it easy. You know, you come out to all these places, you find like nice people, cool. It's just a hang, you know, it's just a fun hang. Plus, I get to do what I love, so, you know, I like it.
Well, on behalf of all radio people ever, thank you. We appreciate it very much. So for the people that might just be getting to know you as a musician, maybe especially here in the States or here in Hampton Roads, you've been acting for a while. You had a hit show that was popular all across Latin America and other parts of the world.
Yeah.
What's it been like for you to make that transition from an incredibly popular show as an actor to now growing your music career kind of in a new direction?
Well, I think it was part of my challenge. Like, I wanted this too, because, you know, I could have just stayed like in my comfort zone and just keep doing like those kind of shows, or try to do my music just keeping those markets. But I really wanted to challenge myself, come here to the US, which is like a new market for me, and start from scratch with my music, and in English now, because most of the stuff I've been doing is in Spanish, and just see what the legit reaction of people with my music is, and just see what happens.
So for you, as you were, you know, coming into this industry, did acting and music always go hand in hand, or was one more interesting to you than the other?
I think they're close, but if I had to pick, I would go for music, and it has always been music since I was a kid. Because I have memory, I used to sing just for fun. Yeah.
So you're from Mexico, Guadalajara, and now you're living in LA. What's that transition been like to go from, again, where you were pretty popular, you were on a hit TV show, but now you're supplanted in Hollywood? Has that been an adjustment for you?
Yes and no. I mean, because in all my career I've been like moving around a lot. Like the show we did before this, it was in Argentina, so I had to move to Argentina and live there for like 4 years. So I kind of got used to like moving around and trying to adapt myself. But definitely, I think LA has that special thing about like everyone goes there. So you find like people from all over the world, and it's kind of like a cool inspiration for you as an artist, you know, to get to have that exchange with different people, different vibe, different music, energy, and all that. Plus, it's pretty close from home. If I ever feel homesick, I just take a flight. It's 3 hours and I'm good, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Was there like an artistic hub in Argentina? Is that something that's normal for Latin American entertainment industry?
Well, it's funny because most of the companies, like TV companies, like Disney Latin America, like they're based, like their main capital it's Buenos Aires. Wow. It's Argentina. So most of the stuff they do it there. So anything that goes, most of the stuff that goes for like a TV show in Latin America, we film it there. So
yeah. Jorge Blanco hanging out with Now 105 here in the studio, and it's funny because when you Google your name, the very first thing that comes up is Jorge Blanco wife. So it's not like Jorge Blanco's song, but yeah. So you are engaged, right?
I'm engaged, yeah.
So tell me about your fiance.
Well, we both started working in the same thing. She's an actress and singer too, and we met like 10 years ago on this reality show for a High School Musical Mexican version thing. So yeah, it's been good. So
has she visited you on the road the last 7 weeks at all, or you're doing it solo?
No, once in a while we see each other. Sometimes I have the like weekends off, I get back, or something's like, oh, I'm gonna be in New York, it'll be fun if you come, and we chill for 2 extra days after the radio, and yeah, we do that like all the time.
Well, so you've been going on a pretty massive promo tour right now. I feel bad that you come here to Hampton Roads, you come to the beach, and we're dressed like it's October, like it's raining and awful.
And singing Summer Soul doesn't make any sense
at
all.
Right, well, you brought some Summer Soul, thank God, because there hasn't been any in the last couple of days. Have there been any stops that were your favorite so far that you haven't been, maybe your first time?
It's hard to tell, totally, because I barely have time to see around, you know? Like, mostly what I see, it's roads, radio stations, airports, and hotels. I mean, I wish I had more time to see around, you know? I mean, I think you guys should tell me, like, next time I get back, what would you recommend me to see? I mean, what would you say I shouldn't miss from here.
Well, I mean, here you gotta go to the beach. That's the big
That's the
thing
thing,
here.
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I would say that the airport's okay. Like, it's nothing special. If you got to spend some time there, it's all right.
Yeah.
This is very cool, very cool. But it's not just here that you're going to be going. In just a couple of weeks, you're doing a gigantic tour overseas in Europe. So, what's that going to be like for you to kind of spend this whole time going through America and traveling all through the country, and then going on tour with R5 on what's going to be a giant tour for you?
Well, it's definitely going to be different. I think that's one of the things I love about my career, my job, is the fact that it's hard to get used to things. Because let's say now we're getting to the 7th, 8th week of these road, and in the moment we might be about to be like getting used to the grind. We change it, go back home, pack and get ready to go to on tour, full band with in hand with R5. So it's all going to be different, different vibe, different people. And the music's gonna change too, because now it's gonna be like the full band, so it's gonna change it all, and I love that.
Has it been a process for you to kind of adapt your music every time you go from a small radio studio to a full band tour with R5 on a larger scale tour? Is that fun for you, or is it difficult to kind of change the musical arrangement of things?
It's fun because it keeps it fresh for me. It's like a new thing, and I'm always excited. Even though if I was doing the same thing all the time, there would be like once in a while I would just want to like add something, and we do that with Mike all the time. Like we're like, okay, this is getting cool, we're so tight on it, let's add something like cooler now, and we keep adding stuff and making it fresh and just try to improve it every time. I mean, it can only get better, right? So
as you're going through this process for the first time in your career, have you noticed yourself growing over the last couple of weeks, couple of months as you're going on this journey?
Definitely. I mean, this job makes you grow and learn so fast. I mean, you go through so many things, so many stuff, and yeah, I really think I try to be a sponge all the time. I try to absorb everything from everybody, and I think that's a cool thing about too. Like you get to meet so many people, you can learn from so many things, and yeah, I mean, definitely, you learn a lot, personally, artistically, and yeah, it's a lot of information. But if you can sit and be like, take it in a positive way and learn from it, it's good.
Corey hanging with Jorge Blanco on Now 105 and on Facebook Live. Hello. And as someone who has such strong Latin American roots and has released Spanish music, you performed a cover of Despacito that you can check out on the website in a little bit and hear on the Facebook page. It seems like in the last couple of years, EDM music was a really strong part of pop music, but over time, especially with Despacito and some other songs, there's been kind of a surge in Latin music and in Latin sounds. Is that something that you've noticed, or that you've seen and maybe try to use to your advantage as you're making music yourself that's trying to cut through?
I mean, I'm all about that. I'm all about, mixing different vibes, different sounds, and I think it's healthy for music too, because after a while of like the same all the time, you get like kind of sick of it, everything sounds the same. So every time those kind of things happen, it's like, yes, something new, something fresh, and everybody starts to like mix and all that stuff, and even now in these times, I think we need that. We need to even mix more stuff, being together, break frontiers. I think I'm all about that. So I'm definitely about like doing more of those collabs and trying to mix in different vibes.
As that music enters the mainstream a little bit more, who are some influences that you look to and maybe influence what you're doing now?
In music?
Yeah.
I actually had a lot of English music as influence. I grew up with a lot of Queen because my dad's a big fan, and I have a lot of old school music influences. I have Queen, James Brown, Elvis Presley, and if I would talk more about like more pop modern stuff, I would say maybe Justin Timberlake. Yeah.
Wow, that's a wide variety. And has listening to that with your family, did that influence why you decided to go into music from a young age, hearing those different artists?
I don't know. I never had as a kid like that kind of like, I never had that stubborn way of thinking like I'm gonna do this, and I was actually super shy, and just my parents were the only ones who knew I love this, and they were like, oh, you should go and try audition or something. I was like, I'm good. Nah, I'm good. But then something came at school, some contest when I was 14, and my parents convinced me to do it. I sang some punk rock song, and I loved it. I loved being on stage, and everyone in school was like, I didn't know you sing. I was like, yeah, whatever. And then the next year, some audition came out for this reality show in High School Musical, and I was like, got nothing to lose. The no, it's already there. So I tried it. I got in right away, and that changed it all. It's almost like the Harry Potter's one that like the career picked me before I picked it. He was like, ah, and I was like, yes, I love this.
That's wild.
Yeah,
I love it. So once you're done with this tour overseas and you come back here, is there a chance that we'll see you acting here in the U.S.?
Hopefully. I mean, I haven't. It's not a thing. I haven't turned my back on that. I keep doing auditions and stuff. So if anything comes up and we can match them together, I'd be happy to do it.
Awesome. Well, we love the music that we've got so far. We love Summer Soul, and we've loved hanging out with you. Thanks for coming by, man. We appreciate it very much. Jorge Blanco with Now 105. You can check out all the performances in this interview here on Facebook and, of course, at now105.com. Thanks, guys.